2022. And this event is being organized by Sri Kailasa in collaboration with the Department of Religion and Worship and the Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for Global Peace and Religious Harmony. And your hosts today are Her Excellency Ma Vijaya Priya Nityananda, Permanent Ambassador of Kailasa to the United Nations, and myself, Ma Nitya Katitananda, Delegate of Kailasa. And today's program will be done in 4 segments. Firstly, there will be the award ceremony, where special recognition will be given to 11 religious leaders, spiritual leaders, and advocates from various religions and faiths and regions to recognize their invaluable contributions to their communities and the society at large for the advancement of peace, harmony, unity, and to confer upon these distinguished individuals the Kailasa Dharma Jyoti Religion and Worship Award. And we will be sharing a bit more about the meaning of this award shortly. This will be followed by a special tribute to 2 individuals, although have most recently left the physical body, will be remembered forever and honored for their contribution to interfaith harmony and world peace. Following this, we will also be sharing with you highlights of the almost 3-decade-long work of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nityananda Paramashivam, the sovereign of the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa and Kailasa, as it relates to religion, spirituality, peace building, and interfaith harmony. And last but not least, today's global conclave on World Interfaith Harmony Week will be concluded with a special live presidential address by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nityananda Paramashivam. So let's hear more about the Kailasa Jyoti Religion and Worship Award. And to do so, I now hand you over to Ma Vijayapriya.
Thank you, Ma Katita. So before we move to the next segment, which is the award ceremony, let us take a short break because it seems we are having some technical issues and the viewers are not able to see the slides that are being projected. So we'll get back in a few minutes and move on to the award ceremony. Thank you. Nityanandam, we apologize for the technical glitch and for the delay. And thank you so much for being patient. And now let's move to the word ceremony. And before we do that, let's talk about what is the karma, the Kailasa Dharma Jyoti religion and worship award. Next slide, please. So the Kailasa Dharma Jyoti religion and worship award, with the grace of the 1008 living incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan, is being conferred for the first time to those considered to be jyotis or lamps of society, distinguished individuals who have demonstrated true compassion and commitment to humanity by using their life in service to others through religion and worship. The essence behind the name of this award stems from the words dharma and jyoti. Dharma meaning the ultimate cosmic law or the natural law of life.
And Jyoti referring to the lamp of cosmology, the cosmic divine light, the Sampurna Viluku, which represents Paramashiva. Some may call God, the Almighty, the source of all existence. And this light stands as a cosmic light, the Jyoti Stamba, as illustrated in the award certificate.
And today's global conclave on World Interfaith Harmony Week 2022, hosted by the Sri Kailasa in collaboration with the Department of Religion and Worship and the Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for Global Peace and Religious Harmony, is indeed a special one. It rests upon almost 3 decades of peace building and interfaith work that has been carried out by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. It is an extension of the very foundation of what Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Hinduism, stands for, which is equality, inclusiveness, peace, unity, and coexistence. From the context of ahimsa, which is nonviolence, and Advaita, oneness with all beings. And there are two beautiful Shastra Pramanas or scriptural references that we would like to share with you all. The first Shastra Pramana is Ahimsa Paramo Dharmaha. Non-violence is the ultimate dharma, cosmic law. In fact, for those who may not already know, Sri Kailasa and the constitution of Sri Kailasa is based and formed on this very principle. And our next scriptural reference is from the Maha Upanishad, chapter 6, verses 71 to 73, which says, Vasudevam Kutumbasyam, meaning the whole world is one family.
And understanding, appreciating, revering one's own faith is our birthright. But understanding, appreciating, and respecting the faith of another is absolutely necessary if we are to coexist peacefully as a humanity, going beyond tolerance. And in a world ravaged by war, pandemics, ecological destruction, hatred, division, Sri Kailasa is reviving the ancient indigenous enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, which believes in oneness of all beings and the highest potential of all human beings, irrespective of race, religion, gender, or background.
So, yes, thank you, Makatita. And so today, as we celebrate religious diversity and reflect upon the essence of faith and the important role religious beliefs, spiritual and cultural traditions have on our very lives, from the cognitions we hold, the way we perceive life, God, the Almighty, society, the environment, other living beings, the economy, gender roles, health, education, and many others. We would like to use this opportunity to highlight the fact that States, countries, and societies which demonstrate religious tolerance, universal acceptance, respect, have been found to have less occurrences of violence in various forms and are more peaceful. More peaceful environments means greater sense of well-being and happiness.
And according to the Institute for Economics and Peace, there's a direct correlation with peace and religious freedom and religious hostilities. And this report says, quote, countries with greater religious freedoms are generally more peaceful, whereas countries with less religious freedom are generally less peaceful. Religious freedom is defined as the absence of government restrictions towards religious practice and expression, whereas religious hostility is defined as the absence of aggression or violence towards particular religious beliefs and practices in a society. End quote. And a commitment to basic human rights and freedom are key characteristics of peaceful countries and supported by very strong statistical significance correlations with several indices measuring human rights. Also important are societal attitudes towards fellow citizens, minorities, ethnic groups, genders, and foreigners. So it makes sense to love and respect all, as there is no doubt that this is one of the most certain ways to create peace and harmony on earth. And today, before we move to the next segment, which is the highly awaited Kailasa Dharma Jyoti Award ceremony, we would like to share with you a quote from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, where he says, religion is the love affair of one's consciousness, one's inner space, and is such a personal, sweet experience. When one is forced to convey their religion, then it is violence towards consciousness itself. End quote. Kailasa is committed to promoting the principle that supports the freedom of an individual or community, in public or private, to manifest religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship, and observance.
So, to begin today's award ceremony, we would like to firstly thank all awardees for taking the time to being here to receive this award and be part of this global conclave on the occasion of the World Interfaith Harmony Week being organized by the Sri Kailasa in collaboration with the Department of Religion and Worship and the Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for Global Peace and Religious Harmony. We would like to thank all the viewers who have joined us from across 100 countries, either on Nityananda TV or viewing on the various social media platforms. We thank you for being here. So I would like to now present the awards to the distinguished individuals present here with us who, through their hard work, are contributing towards the advancement of peace, harmony, and unity in the world. Next slide, please. And now I would like to invite Grandmaster Fabio Venzi, welcome Grandmaster, to receive the Kailasa Dharma Jyoti Religion and Worship Award. The Grandmaster of the regular Grand Lodge of Italy from 2001 is a writer and essayist. He was born in Rome in 1961 and graduated in sociology at the University of Rome, La Sapienza. He is the founder and editor of the philosophical Masonic journal De Hominis Dignitati and has spoken at numerous historical, philosophical, and Masonic conferences in Italy and abroad. His various interests and his multidisciplinary approach led him to deal with sociology of religions, history, alchemy, and esotericism subjects as well. In 2007, he was awarded the Premio Bertrand Russell A. Saperi Contaminati by the University of Reggio Calabria, pronouncing a Lectio Magistralis on myth and symbols in the 20th century. Grandmaster Fabio Venzi, we welcome you, and we would like to kindly invite you to share a few words?
Good evening. I wish to express my heartfelt gratitude to His Holiness for the nomination and invitation to participate to this event on such an important theme. Especially in these difficult times humanity is experiencing. All major religions have suffered persecution in modern times, so they should stand against secularism and scientism. Interreligious harmony is the fundamental theme that for centuries has engaged the highest minds. The aim of this intent is the possibility of bringing humanity to live their own spirituality fraternally, without any distinction of caste, creed, race, nationality, gender, and religion, on the assumption that the different creeds are nothing but different forms of a single religion, an eternal and universal religio perennis. To achieve these results, in my opinion, we should not even build bridges, because there should be no borders, or rather, if there are necessarily physical borders between nations, there should be no spiritual borders between men. Consequently, the term religion should be synonymous with the universalism of the spirit. In Masonic ritual, the concept of universalism with respect to religions is represented by the fundamental symbology of the point within a circle, from which every point of the circumference is equidistant. It is from the center, God, that religions, or rather the creeds, originate, and in the center they converge. And it is only in the center that the unification of the primordial tradition, the religio perennis, takes place. The symbolism of the center and the circumference is present in many Christian, Jews, Muslim, and obviously Hindu mystical writings. It is on the basis of this principle that Freemasonry has been advocating the concept of brotherhood among men and coexistence among faiths throughout the world for centuries. To conclude, I think that in order to achieve harmony among the various religions, it is first of all necessary to know the religious other than one's one. So we will learn that they contain the same fundamental principle and therefore should live in the most perfect harmony. The truth is universal. Reading our holy scriptures in the light of the others would help us to understand them better. On a personal note, I contributed to the dissemination of the principle of the Hindu tradition, and in particular of the Vedanta doctrine, with a biographical essay on Swami Vivekananda that I'm going to publish soon. Few people know that Swami Vivekananda was a Freemason, initiated in 1884 in the lodge of Kolkata, in Italian Calcutta, Angkor and Hope Lodge. In this writing, I had the pleasure of dedicating the last chapter to the one who, for his enormous work, dissemination, and defense of the ancient Hindu tradition in the world, can be considered in many respects as the successor of Swami Vivekananda. I am speaking of His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashivan, whom I personally thank for being the inspirer of this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Grandmaster, for sharing your valuable opinions and for all the work and initiatives you're taking to bring brotherhood, coexistence, and unity amongst all people of all faith and religion. And now I would like to invite Ma Katita to present the next award.
Thank you, Ma Vijayapriya. And the next award goes to Bishop Dalton J. Harding. And Bishop Dalton J. Harding is the Secretary of the Calgary Interfaith Council. He's a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and a retired businessman who is passionate about the value of cooperation within the faith communities. Bishop Dalton J. Harding shared, "Legacy is my family," and he's happily married and has 4 children and is a grandfather of 12. So we would now like to invite Bishop Dalton Harding to receive this award, and we kindly invite you to share a few words.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here. It's nice to be here with all of you. I bring greetings to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivan. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. And we'd also like to thank the sovereign state of Sri Kalasa and Sri Kalasa United Nations for global peace and religious harmony for hosting this wonderful event. I've got 3 minutes to share 3 things. First, why interfaith is important to me, the purpose of Calgary Interfaith Council that I'm involved in, and a little vision for the future. First is why. I attended a number of vigils over this last year, particularly when a Muslim family in Canada, in Eastern Canada, was killed. And at the same time, there was an announcement of unmarked graves in the Indigenous community. And it seemed like there was lots of our communities that were healing and mourning and in pain. And the question came to me, who is the enemy? What are we fighting against? And I believe that we're fighting against polarization. We're fighting against ignorance, stereotyping, and extremism. I believe the answer to that is relationships across faith traditions and cultures, dialogue, and working for the common good. The fundamental principle of my own faith tradition, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is that we are spiritual brothers and sisters. And certainly we are brothers and sisters of mankind, and we need to treat each other as such. Number 2, the purpose of Calgary Interfaith Council is that principle of building relationships, having interfaith dialogue, and learning from and about each other and celebrating diversity. That's what our mandate is. We have approximately 50 faith communities here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, in our group, including Hindu, Buddhist, Muslim, Baha'i, Christian, Jewish, Indigenous, and lots of subcategories of all those organizations. And we've had prayer vigils, open houses, dialogue sessions. In 2017, we were awarded the King Abdullah II awarded us the gold medal for the best celebration of UN Interfaith Harmony Week. And in 2019, we raised $1 million for Habitat for Humanity. So we're trying to make a difference here in Calgary. Our vision for the future is that society understands the risk, humanity understands the risk and damaging influence of polarization ethnocentrism, and extremism, and that we have a desire to share and learn from each other. That is the work that I love personally and that I pray for each of us to do. And I thank you for the opportunity of being here.
Thank you so much, Bishop Dalton J. Hartling, for all the great work that you do and for bringing greetings today. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Marketita. And now we would like to present the next award to Sister Uma Deonat from Trinidad and Tobago. Sister Uma Deonat is a representative of the Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual Organization located in Trinidad and Tobago, the headquarters of which is in Mount Abu in Rajasthan, India. Presently, Sister Uma is the coordinator of the Sangre Grande branch of this institution. The past 30 years that she has spent with this spiritual organization has truly enhanced her life and the many that benefited from her daily selfless services, whether it's through the meditation classes she conducts or the personal counseling or visits to individuals and family members who are facing difficult times, especially the loss of loved ones. Sister Uma has touched and enriched the lives of thousands. As an inspiration, especially to women, she is the true epitome of service to humanity. Through meditation and yoga, the clarity and understanding of this sacred knowledge that explains the difference between the eternal soul and the body really resonates with her and allows her to live her innate qualities effortlessly in a very practical way. And so now we would like to invite Sister Uma Leonard to receive the award. And welcome, Sister Uma. We kindly invite you to share a few words.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Maha Sannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nitya Nanda Param Shiva, and the sovereign state of Kailasa. Namaste, Om Shanti, and greetings of peace and divine love. I would like to say thank you for this esteemed Dharma Jyoti Religion and Worship Award. Thank you. The Brahma Kumaris is an international spiritual organization in 6 continents with our spiritual headquarters in Mount Abu, Rajasthan, India. The Brahma Kumaris is dedicated to helping people. We believe in the spiritual transformation of every human being. Several successful international programs have been held involving millions of people. The most recent one was held from the 16th to the 18th of January 2022, a 3-day silence involving over 1 million of participants. With the spiritual knowledge, a spiritual awareness is awakened of soul and the Supreme Soul. We are all souls, spiritual beings residing in the center of the forehead. And God, our Supreme Father, the Supreme Light, is the Father of all of us souls. For our vision is that humanity will enjoy peace, love, and harmony. And that will come about with the transformation of hell into heaven, or we can say from Kali into Satyuga. Thank you and Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Sister Uma, for your beautiful words. And it's an honor to have you with us here today. And now we would like to move to the next award recipient. And I would like to invite Markatita to present it.
Thank you, Mav Jayapriya. So we would like to confer the next award to Father Brian E. McWeeny. And Father Brian E. McWeeny is the Director of Ecumenical and Interreligious Affairs for the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of New York. Throughout the almost 50 years of priestly ministry, he has been involved in the field of religious dialogue. And as he pursued his doctorate in ministry and taught at all levels of education, he found interfaith relationships to be crucial to his own religious development. As president of the Dutchess County Interfaith Council, he has worked with his confreres in dealing with the social and religious fallout from the events of September 11th. He is active with the National Conference of Catholic Bishops' dialogues with the Jewish and Islamic Buddhist communities, and continues to serve many across the borders. So without further ado, I will now like to hand over to Father Brian McWeeny to receive this award and share his greetings.
I am truly grateful not only to His Holiness, but also to the whole Hindu community. A very important part of our American tradition is the Hindu beliefs, and they have been a source of encouragement to so many, not only of their own members, but to the members of the wider religious community. One of the things that I have striven to be a part of is an ongoing dialogue. And in that dialogue, there must be certain foundations. And one of the foundations that is crucial is the foundation of friendship. That we meet not only in discussion, but we meet at the table. As we eat each other's food, so we take in each other's viewpoints, traditions, history, and trials and tribulations. All too often, we are apart from one another, and that does not breed well. In fact, the diplomatic community in the United Nations, in the city where I live, has told us that they see an important contribution to be made by religious traditions and by their values to the diplomatic seeking of peace and justice in the world. Our Holy Father, Pope Francis, in our Catholic community, has stressed with us the need to go forth and to be part of the reality of unity. Unity in diversity, caring for the whole nature of our human existence. In his statement, Laudatio Si, he speaks of our care for creation. In Fratelli Tutti, he tells us the most important part of that creation is the human being, who have to reach out to one another. But our dialogue must not be only in words. That dialogue must be always in actions, to reach and to serve one another. In the great pandemic that we have experienced, reaching out to one another, no matter what our faith background, to bind up each other's wounds. People are discouraged. We are there to be affirming of their life and of their significance. It's a great joy to work with all different faith experiences and to learn from them. One of the highlights of my time in my post here in the Archdiocese was my trip to Taiwan, where I met so many different parts of the Buddhist community and learned how much more I had in common than I ever understood with their goals, with their lives. And today I pray for all of them in Taiwan and in all places where there is political disruption. It's important that all of us continue to think about one another and that we're not by ourselves on an island. One of the examples I would give is an example of the beauty of a mosaic. When one comes upon a mosaic, one sees one picture, but that picture is made up of several hundreds and hundreds of stones. May all of our stones blend together to create the beautiful picture of a unified humanity, always searching for growth. God bless all of you.
Thank you so much, Father Brian McWhinney, for your continued work in bringing interfaith harmony across the globe and for your wonderful greetings. Thank you so much. And we will now move on. So the next award goes to Reverend Hapen Im. And Reverend Hapen Im is the president and founder of Faith and Community Empowerment, FACE. And FACE is a nonprofit involved in empowering pastors, church leaders, and nonprofits to leverage their resources by building capacity, leadership, and partnerships in economic development and serving as a bridge between the Asian American community and the greater community at large. FACE, or FACE, has had over 800 partners ranging from the White House to Fortune 500 companies, which serves housing, homeless outreach, schooling, activism, and much more. As a daughter of Koreans who were Southern Baptists, Reverend Hapen Im got an up-close view at the challenges faced by the region's burgeoning Korean American community. Inspired by her faith and the struggles and sacrifices of her parents who served doing ministerial and social work, she decided to take action. She earned an MBA from the University of Southern California and earned an MDiv, summa cum laude, from Wesley Theological Seminary, and worked for many years in consulting groups where she focused on nonprofits. As a reverend with unwavering dedication to her Christian faith and the community, her pioneering work has inspired many. And in September 2013, she was named one of the 10 top inspirational women of Los Angeles by Los Angeles Magazine. We welcome you, Reverend Hapen Im, and kindly invite you to share a few words.
Good morning, at least from Los Angeles, United States. Again, my name is Hapen Im, and I run a nonprofit called Faith and Community Empowerment. We say the acronym is FACE, and we say we strive to bring the face of God through service and lift those who are faceless. Before I begin, I just want to express my gratitude for this Kailasa Dharma Jyoti, a Religion and Worship Award, and to the His Holiness, Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashiva, and also the Sri Kailasa state as well. I am in the process of learning, so excuse my pronunciation. My journey in this interfaith space has been one that has been with careful intentionality. As a believer, God has led me into this space where I believe that in many ways, for each one of us who choose to stand and make our faith our priority, there is also the danger of being sacrilegious. in interacting with different entities. But what I have seen as God has taken me on this journey, whether it's with the Jewish community, with the Muslim community, and now with the Hindu community, is that at the end of the day, being dogmatic does not transform hearts. And that as Dr. Martin Luther King has said, that darkness does not get rid of darkness, light does, and hate does not get rid of hate, love does. And I believe that in my journey, with my parents being in ministry, they ended up really becoming unpaid social workers. And I think that for the most part, that all people of faith, especially when crisis occurs in their lives and in their communities, they seek a God out there, and also the help and advice of faith leaders. And so they serve as first responders when these crises occurs. And yet, for many of us, and I've gone to seminary, many times we're not equipped to be able to partner with the broader world and to tap into the resources that are available. And so our organization was formed in 2001, and it was modeled after a very prominent African-American church called First AME, led by Pastor Cecil Murray, and the efforts led by Reverend Mark Whitlock. And I saw this amazing model in which when they partnered with the broader community, they were able to tap into those resources. But they brought in an additional $12 million. And with that resource, their impact in their ability to help people was so much greater, and they even got paid. But more important than that, I saw that these various stakeholders who would never usually talk about God or about communities of color or some religious institution started to laud the work of this church because of their vested interest in seeing the church's success because of their partnership. And because of the lauding of these churches, of this church, the church's reputation grew and their influence and welcome grew, and they were invited to the decision-making room. I think as people of faith, many times we stay away from anything that seems political, yet we need to be present in those decision-making rooms. We need to be invited into those decision-making rooms because our light, our love, and the policy of love and light needs to be instilled in those places. And so again, I saw this amazing model where God gets honored, people get helped, and you get paid and do a lot of good things, and also create a society of mutuality through partnership. And I wanted to bring this to reality, but it was a passing thought. But many miracles later, our organization formed. We have had over 800 partners, from White House to Fortune 500 to various ethnicities as well. And we have helped people on a very practical level, as well as equipping religious and faith leaders how to engage with the broader community. I am grateful to the various different interfaith leaders who have welcomed me into their fold. And in that process, it has been of learning, constant learning. And again, I believe that each one of us has that God-given light. And as a Christian, I was told, let your light shine before men that they may see your good works and praise your Father who is in heaven. And so for each one of us, we have a father figure, we have a God figure that we all lean and seek and trust. But I believe at the end of the day, that light needs to shine in that darkness, and through our love and our good works, that we can truly, truly bless everyone in this country and bring honor to God. Again, thank you for this amazing award. And I look forward to, again, walking humbly to learn and to share and to really, again, bring the love of God to one another and to bless the world.
Thank you so very much, Reverend Heepanim, for your insightful sharing and all the inspirational work that you continue to do for so many. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And-
Yes, and now we would like to present the next award to Pandit Sunil Sitahal Maharaj from Trinidad and Tobago. Principally based in South Trinidad, Pandit Sunil Sitahal Maharaj came from a family lineage that hinged onto bhakti, meaning devotion, and dharma. Ingrained into his DNA and inspired by those who came before him, while cognizant about the importance of religion and spirituality, Pandit Sunil Sitahal Maharaj ji has been practicing for over 25 years and has dedicated his life entirely to reviving Dharma full time. Serving as the head and spiritual leader of the Ganesh Utsav Foundation, Pandit Sunil is an impetus for harmony and compassion. While Panditji may be known for his eloquent and humble life transforming discourses, he continues to be a beacon of hope and light to many. His service to society and humanity doesn't stop at the end of a puja or Ramayan. Adopting the principle of worship to God is worship to mankind, Pandit Sunil Sitahal Maharaj ji serves as the main conduit to many social initiatives to bring comfort and happiness to those most vulnerable in the society. We welcome you, Panditji, and we kindly invite you to share a few words.
Sitaram, my adorations and frustrations at the feet of His Divine Holiness, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Sri Jagat Guru Sani Dama, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nityananda Paramashivam. To all other divine souls, the host, other recipients of this beautiful award, I seem to be the youngest recipient this morning, and for this I'm eternally grateful. I'm happy to receive this Kailasa Dharma Jyoti Religion and Worship Award this morning. Scripture has declared to us that success is not measured by what we have, but success is measured by what we can give and how we can help those who are in need. Existence was given to us to be a blessing, not only to ourselves, but to the world around us. Service to God is service to man. Bhagavan Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, when service to God through man comes into play, our life becomes a blessing. This morning, we are faced with great trials and tribulations as the world experienced COVID-19. COVID-19 has taught us that the most certain thing about life is that we will all die. It has taught us that we are our own best friends and our own worst enemies. COVID-19 has taught us, in the words of the Ramcharitramanas, the Holy Ramayana, Pravi Sinagar ki jay sabakaja, hidai hiraki ko sar puraraja. Put God first and walk behind, and so the impossible becomes possible. This morning, I was privileged to listen to the presentation of all the other speakers. But this morning, I want to say that before being a Christian, before being a Muslim, before being a Hindu, we must all learn to be good human beings and to recognize that service to God is service to man. And when man becomes happy, God becomes happy. When our work on the earth becomes service to God through man, all things are added unto us. This morning, on behalf of myself and on behalf of the Ganesh Utsav Foundation, I say thank you to this beautiful group for affording me the opportunity to be the recipient of this beautiful award. Thank you and blessings to all. Before I go, I ask you, let us all pray. And so we pray in our own way, as we pray to that one infinite being who is worshipped on every altar in this world. From him we have come, and one day to him we shall eventually return. We pray to him, asking him for his grace to flow through us to the world around us. Asito ma sadagamaya Tamasuma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. From darkness, guide us onto the pathway of light. From death, guide us onto the pathway of immortality. And from ignorance, guide us onto the pathway of knowledge. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Panditji, for your inspirational words and for your prayers to the betterment of all beings, not just human beings, for all beings. And thank you so much for being here with us today. And now I would like to invite Ma Katita to present the next award.
Thank you so much, Ma Vijayapriya. So the next award is being presented to Reverend Jambo Mola. And Reverend Jambo Mola is a bishop of Christ Church of Naka Songala. He was born on New Year's Day on January 1st, 1965 in Sudan, and as the second child and the only son of 5 children. He was raised in Sudan, an Islamic country, to parents of Christian religion. His education was focused on theology, which he received from Bible School of Sudan, along with many other achievements. He was ordained to the priesthood by late Bishop Thomas Lohima in the year 1986, and at the age of 17. And since then, he has dedicated his life in serving the society with the name of Christ. Since at a very young age, Reverend Jambo Mola has witnessed ethnicity clashes and religious war. One such incident was the killing of 64 people in a church compound, where they were later buried as a mass grave. Reverend Bishop has faced many deaths since 1976 and continues till to date. He sacrifices his life for the poor, especially for South Sudanese. The yearning for harmony and serving people in oneness and unity sparked within. Realizing this, Reverend Bishop Jambo Mola founded Christ Church Naka Songala, a Church of Christ in 1988, and worked alongside Muslims in 1992 to 2005 to bring Muslim and Christian communities together. He, as a bishop, is the head of the church and also the branches, and is a spiritual mentor to 10 other reverends and pastors. Currently, he holds the responsibility as the advisor of all Isok communities and Dong Tano tribe from Eastern Equatorial State in South Sudan. Today, the Christchurch Naka Songala has established interfaith relationships with Christians, Muslims, and Hindus, which promote global peace and harmony. We welcome you, Reverend Jambo Mola, and kindly invite you to share a few words.
Thank you. Receive you all in Jesus' name, and especially the leaders of Kalaisa. There are no words to describe how humble and happy I feel. This is my daily prayers, unity, harmony, and oneness among humanity. And together, I am happy from different countries and religions being recognized here today for the cause of peace and harmony. I would like to extend and thank all of Wofford of Suru my leader. I'm honored to receive a word privilege. I'm hopefully the religious leaders gather here are powerfully demonstration that spiritual leaders of different faiths and religious coexistence peacefully with harmony together. A violence being committed in the name of religious worldwide, threatening to weed out entire religious communities. The needs for interfaith and interreligious relationship has never been more urgent. May Kalasia be blessed, always with love, light, and joy. We will continuously work together to support and pray for Kalesa nation leaders is doing to make the world a peaceful place. There are no words to express gratitude and how humble I feel to be here, being recognized with every significant award. O.M. Award for Global Peace, Harmony, and Unity. We thank Supreme Leader and support Kalesa for its great initiative and hard work to bring unity and peace to humanity. Thank you very much. And God bless you. And we shall continue to work together. And also thank for all those leaders who have come from other countries that you have gathered. We thank you, and may our Lord Jesus Christ bless you and bless you and bless you. Amen.
Thank you so much, Reverend Jamomola, for your prayer, your warm wishes and greetings. Thank you so much for being here. And I now hand over to Ma Vijaya Priya to introduce the other awardee.
So now we would like to present the next award to Dr. Murali Krishna Bhuvnagiri Samarji. And Dr. Samarji is the founder and head priest for Sankaramatam Vedic Academy, North Carolina in USA. He has worked as the head priest for Triad Hindu Temple, Greensboro, North Carolina, from 2012 to 2021. He has done many major events in the Triad Hindu Temple, as well as in temples all over the USA. Samarji is a certified and experienced Smarta Agama priest from the Endowments Department of the Government of India. He has a strong experience in Devalaya Smarta Agama Shastra and performed Devalaya Pratishtapana Puja, the temple construction process from layout to installing deities, for more than 20 plus temples in the United States and more than 100 temples across the globe. Samarji has a strong 18 plus years of experience in Vedic practice, 12 plus years of astrology practice, and reviewed more than 5,000 horoscopes. He is also promoting and representing the Vedic astrology in the USA through NRI radio channel, a 1-hour weekly based program called Grahabalam. This special skill set has helped many devotees in the Triad area and the United States to take care of Grahana doshas or the birth doshas and perform the precautionary pujas as needed to the devotees that have peace in their homes. Samarji has great interest in listening to Indian traditional music and devotional discussions. We welcome you, Dr. Samarji, and we kindly invite you to share a few words.
Haribo. Thank you so much, and I'm very happy to join with the others and religious leaders and spiritual leaders. And first of all, I would like to thank Dharmajyoti Religion and Worship Award Committee from the Kailasha, and my sincere pranamam to His Holiness Sri Swamiji. And I would like to pray my sincere prayers to the Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam. And I would like to start my today's a small presentation or speech with a Hindu prayer. Om Narayana Samarambham Adi Shankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Gurave Sarvalokanam Bhishaje Bhavaroginam Nithaye Sarva Vidyanam Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Om Namah Pranavarthaya Siddhagnanaika Murtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishweshwaraya Mahadevaya Trayambakaya Tripuram Takaya Trikagni Kalaya Kalagni Rudraya Neelakantaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sada Sivaya Sriman Mahadevaya Namaha. Again, pranamam to the Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam Swamiji. So, with the blessings of Jagadguru Sri Adi Shankaracharya and Shankara Matam founders, and I am happy to tell you all that in North Carolina, we are located in the Charlotte, and I'm the one of the founders for Shankara Matam. It is a voluntary-based organization for the benefit of Sanatana Dharma, and we work for the diffusion of Sanatana Dharma, the eternal principle of truth and righteousness. Underlying Hindu faith, Shankara Matam is a home away from the home, a place to be comfortable, engage, and develop an awareness of our Hindu culture and spiritual heritage. Our main objectives and missions. The organization committee serves events such as assisting in boys and girls scout camps and blood donation drives and educational drives and food drives and fundraising for urban ministry, supporting locally homeless people and people affected through national disasters like COVID, and since we are in the north and we have hurricanes here, other voluntary activities for the society. Promoting Indian music, art, dance, and culture in the community, facilitating for yoga, meditation, and culture-based activities and educational achievements, activities, conducting youth clubs and career development seminars for the community people, providing facilities to the members and the Hindu community for celebrating the Hindu festivals as well as satsang and bhajan sections. So here in our organization, we mainly focus more than a religious or practice doing in a way of puja, we more focus on the educational part of this Sanatana Dharma, because so we believe in our organization, the understanding the faith, understanding the religious dharma is more important and than blindly following it, no matter any dharma, any religious practice. There is so much missionary works and other kind of works going on in the world by the various religious organizations, like as Christian organizations, Muslim organizations, or Buddhist, or so many organizations. Everyone is on the conversion and from the non-being religious to the religious. Everyone is trying to be spiritual and gain the more, modern to the yogic style of living. Since this COVID also teaches us lot of things, and what is the important things for the life in a human life. It is a big pause for the people to realize themselves, and look back and sit back and understand about their lives and what they are running for and in day-to-day activities, because this world is became so much like artificial and so much modern and technologically is also updated. But where we are going with this technology and all these things, are we losing our identity, or are we losing our spiritual growth in the hunt of this modern era, or money or name or fame? So this meditation or yoga or practicing Sanatana Dharma or whatever Dharma, whoever, they follow, and following all those things will bring back our soul and the soul quality, and make all the human beings better human beings for the society. That is the goal of our mission, to bring back that, Sanatana Dharma values to the community. Here we believe that three things we need to do to bring this, Sanatana Dharma practice to the human life again. The first thing, include the spirit of open-mindedness and tolerance. The second thing, philosophical research. And third thing is develop the conviction to speak your mind. So this is very important to follow these steps. And since I have only a few minutes, I don't want to go very deeper into those conversations, but in this way we are serving our community by spreading the Sanatana Dharma and working towards the bringing this happiness into our community members' lives, and helping the community to fight with this such a difficult times with the COVID and the situations. Thank you. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Sarve Sujana Sukhino Bhavantu. Once again, I would like to thank myself to the Dharma Jyoti Religious and Worship Awards and the Kailasa team, and my pranam to the Swamiji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Samarji, for the humanitarian work that you're doing, especially during the pandemic and during the disasters, and for spreading Dharma and empowering our youth to forge a strong society where all faith and religions can coexist, thereby bringing global peace and harmony. Thank you so much for being here. And now I would like to pass on to Markatita to present the next award.
Thank you so much, Ma Vijayapriya. So the next award is to be presented to Vin Datak K. Sri Dharma Ratna. Vin Datak K. Sri Dharma Ratna is the principal of the Buddhist Institute Sunday Dharma School in Buddhist Maha Vihara, Brickfield, as well as the founder and spiritual advisor of the T. Ratna Welfare Society and the T. Ratna Buddhist Society. He is the co-chairman of the interfaith group, which comprises spiritual leaders from Islam, Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Taoism, and Sikhism, and has been appointed as the Chief Sangha Nayaka of Malaysia, or the Chief High Priest, and was bestowed with the title of Dhamma Kirti Sri Dhamma Nanda by the board of Malwata chapter of Siam Nikaya in Kandy, Sri Lanka. And Vendatak K. Sri Dhammaratana was here with us, but unfortunately he's been having some technical issues, so he's unable to give his live greetings, but we thank him for being here, and we would now like to move to the next award introduction.
Thank you, Makatita. And now we would like to present the next award to Shri Raksh Joshi. Shri Raksh Joshi has been working with the Hindu community for the last 16 years in various positions, such as the Vice President and Trustee. He is the Chairman for Jagran Society of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and Chairman for the Hindu Society of Beaumont, Alberta, Canada. He is also the advisor to the Hindu Society of Calgary. Shri Raksh Joshi has been involved with the community for the last 20 years, and he is the recipient of the Queen Elizabeth II Award by the Prime Minister of Canada and the Governor of Canada. He has also received many award recognitions by the Alberta MLAs and Canada MPs for his work. Thank you so much, Dr. Shri Raksh Joshi, for being here with us today, and we kindly invite you to share a few words.
Thank you, Vijay Priya. First of all, I would like to give my gratitude to His Highness Nityananda Paramashivam for organizing this World Interfaith Harmony Week, which we have been actually doing it here in Alberta as well. I would like to start with a prayer. Om Bhur Bhavaswaha Tassarvitar Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Deo Yonam Prachodayat. This means is a declaration of appreciation to both nurturing sun and the divine. As everybody is doing, all their work for peace and harmony in this world, and the wave of globalization has been connecting all the countries of the world into a community of an unprecedented extended, which implies that the mankind society in its true sense is taking shape. In the meantime, the significance of peace and harmony is being recognized by more and more far-sighted people for the following reasons. Peace and harmony is a basic prerequisite. Peace and harmony can bring a peaceful and stable order to society. As Pandit Sunilji said, and we also say the same thing here in Alberta to each and everybody, wherever we go for interfaith symposium. And also on February 8 of 2020, before the pandemic starts, we had interfaith symposium in our temple, face to face with all community leaders. After pandemic, now we are doing it virtually to each and everybody. As Panditji said, all religions should do whatever they are doing, pray whatever you want to pray from your home. Whenever you come out of your house, just become a human being. And the society, human being, it starts from your own home first, and from your personal communities where you are. As I said, charity begins from home first, and you are taking a very good initiative of creating and also connecting all religion group members for this world peace and also for the harmony. And this is what we wish to each and everybody, that we should remain harmon, and we do not hate anybody, but we love everybody. This effort of doing Harmony Week by all faith communities, and I wish each and everybody all the best for whatever they are doing. Continue doing the best work for the harmony and for the humanity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shri Raksh Joshi, for your kind words and for all the hard work you're doing to bring unity and coexistence among all people. And thank you so much for being here. And now I would like to pass on to Makatita for the next segment.
Thank you so much. And a special thank you to all the awardees of the Kailasa Dharma Jyoti Religion and Worship Award, Thank you so much for all that you do and for your greetings today. And we will now be paying tribute to two individuals who have also been beacons of society, to beings who, although they have left the physical body most recently, their impact to society, their impact and legacy and contribution to humanity as a whole will be remembered for generations to come. And they are the late Thich Nhat Hanh and the late Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu. So we will be doing so by observing 1 minute of silence. Thank you. So as we most eagerly await and patiently await the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nityananda Paramashivam, to grace us with his presence and deliver the presidential address, we would like to briefly present on the decades of religious, interfaith, global humanitarian, and peace-building work of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Through the revival of Kailasa, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continues to not only build bridges, but has become the bridges across communities of all backgrounds worldwide, uniting nations. And to do so, I'd like to ask Ma Vijayapriya to begin the introductions.
Thank you so much, Ma Petita. Can you please go back to the previous slide? Thank you. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, is recognized as the 1008 living incarnation of Lord Paramashiva as per Hinduism and by his predecessors of enlightened masters and adept. He was born on the 3rd of January 1978 in the holy town of Tiruvannamalai, India. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the only legal inheritor of 19 ancient Hindu kingdoms and the successor to multiple Sarvanyapithams. Lord Paramashiva, who is the ultimate superconsciousness as per Hinduism, Lord Paramashiva's seat is called Sarvanyapitha, the all-knowing spiritual seat of infinite knowledge, or the seat of excellence.
And at just the age of 3, at 3 years of age in 1981, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was initiated into Bala Sannyas, child saint, by enlightened beings, masters, and his predecessors. In 1988, he was coronated as the future Guru Mahasanidhanam, or Pontiff, of Kanchi Kailasa Sarvanyapitham Tondai Mandala Adhinam, the oldest monastic university. In 1994, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the successor of Arunachala Sarvanyapeetham in Tirunamalai, India. And in 1999, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the mission, Nityananda Sangha, to revive Kailasa globally. In the same year, he was coronated as the successor of Kashi Sarvanyapeetha in Varanasi, India. And in 2002, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded Adi Kailasa Sarvanyapeetham in Bengaluru, India. On January 1st, 2004, he was declared as the successor of Bhagya Nagara Sripura Sarvanyapeetham. And in the same year, on December 31st, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the 203rd incumbent emperor of the Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam of Surya Vamsa lineage. In 2007, January, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revived Adi Pallava Sarvanyapeetham, the spiritual and religious kingdom in Puducherry, India. Later on, in April 27, 2012, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the 293rd Guru Mahasanidhanam of Madurai Shamala Pita Sarvanyapeetham, the oldest Hindu papal state and monastic kingdom. And the following year, in 2013, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Mahamandaleshwara, the supreme spiritual head of Mahanirvani Akada, the largest apex monastic order, making him the youngest Mahamandaleshwara. In the same year, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of Patal Akada, the oldest monastic order in Hinduism. And in 2014, he was coronated as Guru Mahasanidhanam, a pontiff of Tanjavur Arinam. In 2015, he was coronated as Guru Mahasanidhanam of Adipita Kolada Mata, and it is in 2015 itself that His Divine Holiness was coronated as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu leaders or pontiffs through a grand 3-day ritualistic celebration known as the Ati Rudra Mahayagna. And in 2018, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism officially revived the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa as we know it today.
So let us now take a glimpse into the early work of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam. As we can see in the picture, when the Supreme Pontiff was very young, the temple monastery complex of his guru, Mata Vibhutananda Puri in Tiruvannamalai, India, was built brick by brick by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. His gurus guided and he just followed. In 2001, at the age of 23, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism established the first Kailasa temple monastery in Tiruchengood, South India. And in 2002, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism established the headquarters, the Adi Kailasa Sarvanyapeetha in Karnataka, South India. And throughout the years, right from the very young age, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted mass living enlightenment initiation conventions, taking people through powerful cleansing processes of our 7 energy chakras. And as we can see, in 2005, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was welcomed with a proclamation message by the mayor of St. Louis in the United States. And again, here we can see how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism attracted thousands of people where he delivered discourses in USA, in India, and just initiating thousands into enlightenment. And here we can see, this is the Kumbh Mela, the grand celebration in Hinduism where millions of people gather per day to celebrate enlightenment. And the Supreme Pontiff again initiated thousands into mass enlightenment. And also he met with many religious leaders, including Muslim leaders at the Kumbh Mela in Ujjain in 2016. So all the hard work of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism that he's been doing right from the very young age has translated into the 108 Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations initiative. The Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations support a variety of humanitarian services which collectively allows for the creation of an enlightened, peaceful, sustainable, equitable, and resilient, thriving world. The 108 Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations initiatives align to the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals and expand onto many other initiatives, incorporating other elements which are rooted in the ancient sciences of Hinduism, universal practical applications to bring about the time-tested, foolproof, lasting solutions to the world's problem, whether it's economical, social, environmental. And one such Sri Kailasa Uniting Nation is the Sri Kailasa Uniting Nation for Global Peace and Religious Harmony. In 2009, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized a month-long peace work covering thousands of kilometers and 1,000 villages to bring together in harmony from all walks of life to promote feeling connection and oneness to among all people. And during the walk, health camps were conducted in villages along its path. And here we can see that, in fact, throughout the years, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, has met with many religious leaders. And one such example is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism meeting with Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith of the Agape International Spiritual Center in 2006 in Los Angeles, California, where he delivered a talk on how the human mind works and how to use it as an effective tool for blissful living. Meeting Dr. Beckwith was one of the many meetings and initiatives the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has engaged in during his time in the United States at the beginning of his mission for humanity.
And to add, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also taken part in several interfaith global events, such as the launch of the Global Foundation for Civilizational Harmony on January 2nd, 2008, alongside the Dalai Lama and many distinguished religious leaders, such as Abdul Kalam, the former Indian president, Swami Dayananda Ji, Baba Ramdev, and several others. As you can see in this picture, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is seated on the second from the right, and His Holiness the Dalai Lama is seated second from the left during the launch of this Global Foundation for Civilizational Harmony. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, continues to be an ardent advocate of peaceful coexistence amongst all people of various faiths, religions, and cultures, and shared in this message on September 5th, 2010, where he openly and lovingly shared, "Any number of gods, Rama, Krishna, Shiva, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, all of us can coexist in one puja room, happily. We don't have a problem."
Apologize, I think I was muted. So in fact, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully explained how Hinduism itself is an encyclopedia of religions. Each of the 10,000 sampradayas in Sanatana Hindu Dharma is independently complete and equipped with techniques and methods to make an individual enlightened. Every sampradaya in Sanatana Hindu Dharma is a religion. Sanatana Hindu Dharma is not just one religion, but it is a group of religions existing and enriching each other.
And just recently, on November 7, 2021, Kailasa Los Angeles in Montclair, California, celebrated its 14th anniversary by organizing a live interfaith dialogue on a topic of gender equality. And on that day, distinguished leaders from various religions and faiths, including Hinduism, Islam, Sikhism, Jainism, and the Baha'i faith, all united in Kailasa, Los Angeles. Kailasa, Los Angeles was blessed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to be the Western Hemisphere headquarters of Kailasa. Kailasa, Los Angeles has, and therefore is, a very important central point to unite all nations, faiths, and religions for multiple humanitarian projects.
And under the guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, Kailasa also took part in the International Religious Freedom, the IRF Summit in 2021 in Washington, D.C. The summit aimed to bring attention to the plight of religious adherents who are persecuted individually and collectively, to gain political support for the global religious freedom movement, and to embolden religious groups, civil society, and governments to take stands for religious freedom. Kailasa was given the opportunity to speak on the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and of Hindu minorities in India and worldwide in front of the international multi-faith community. And as we can see here in this picture, through these gruesome pictures, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has undergone over 70 assassination attempts and physical attacks on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in India and abroad. There have been over 40 attacks on community members, destruction of monasteries and temples, over 70 harmony. In 2009, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized a month-long peace work Yes, and there have been over 60 incidents of attacks, molestation, and rape of women and women monks, intense lawfare via 100 false legal cases, intersectional persecution using entire government mechanism, politically owned media, police, and judiciary control by politicians. And all those, inciting mob violence via social media. And after a decade long of persecution, the Kailasa nation, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, presented on the behalf of the 2 billion Hindu diaspora at the 14th session at the United Nations in Geneva. And that was a significant milestone in the history of Hindus and the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa, because this was the first time the plight of the persecuted Hindu minorities was presented at the United Nations. The ongoing and the systematic generational attacks on Hindu indigenous traditions were highlighted.
And despite the intense persecution and lawfare, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism established the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa for not only the persecuted Hindus, but for all the world's practicing and aspiring Hindus. Kailasa is the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. Kailasa is not a competition for India, Nepal, Bali, Cambodia, nor any country. Kailasa is in fact only complementing these nations. It is a seed bank for Hinduism, with the vision of Kailasa being enlightened living for all of humanity. Kailasa's vision is to revive and share with the world the practical applications of the greater sciences of authentic Hinduism. And moreover, Kailasa has sovereign territory in more than one place. In its sovereign territory, Kailasa has its own Supreme Court and is also successful in achieving civil court status in 3 countries. Kailasa has a license to run banks in more than 27 places and in 6 countries. Kailasa's currency has been accepted as mainstream currency, with acceptance as private currency in 2 more countries.
And due to lack of time and while waiting for, we are ready to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So we are going to quickly go through all the slides. And as we can see here, Sri Kailasa nation has bilateral relations with 7 cities and 1 state across 6 countries. Next slide, please. And to honor the achievements of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism have received 115 proclamations and certificates of recognitions from statesmen across 14 countries. And in 2022, on January 3rd, there were 37 cities across 4 countries which declared January 3rd as the Kailasa's Nityananda Day. And as we can see here on the screen, these are some of the certificates that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism received from various senators and women and congressmen from the United States, and also from other countries such as Tanzania and Belize. So now let us get ready to welcome the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam.
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवसमारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरि परमशिवशक्तिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् I welcome you all with my love and respect. I welcome all the de facto Kailashians practicing Hindus and everyone who has joined today's program, all the Sarvanyapita Kartas, Yajamans, Manifestors, Sarvabarityagi, Shri Mahans, Mahans, Kottari, Tanedar, Kailasas, ministers, ambassadors, diplomats, e-diplomats, citizens, consulate generals, supporters, Mantreshwaras, Vidyeshwaras, Ganeshwaras, Lokeshwaras, Astreshwaras. I welcome all of you with my love and respect. The auspicious program, the Kailasa Dharma Jyoti Religion and Worship Award Ceremony in celebration of the Global Conclave World Interfaith Harmony Week. I welcome all of you for this wonderful program. Today, we are recognizing the great services, contribution in the field of interfaith harmony of 10 prominent personalities, dignitaries from various religions around the globe, from around the globe, from various religions, various faiths, traditions. 10 people are getting awarded. I congratulate all 10 of them for their great contribution in the field of interfaith harmony. We start with Grandmaster Fabio Venzi from Italy. Thank you for what you are doing. Thank you for who you are. Bishop Dalton J. Harding, Secretary of Calgary Interfaith Council, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Canada. Thank you. We sincerely thank you for who you are and what you are doing. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being who you are. Sister Uma Devanath, Brahmakumari's World Spiritual Organization, Trinidad Tobago. Thank you for who you are and thank you for doing what you are doing. Father Brian McWeeny, Director of Ecumenical and Interreligious Affairs for the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of New York, Catholic, United States. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Father Brian McWeeny. Thank you for being who you are and thank you for doing what you are doing. Reverend Hapin Im, President and founder of Faith and Community Empowerment, Catholic, United States. Thank you, Reverend, for who you are and what you are doing. And Pandit Sunil Seetal Maharaj, head and the spiritual leader of Ganeshotsava Foundation, Hindu, Trinidad Tobago. Thank you, Pandit Sunil Seetal Maharaj ji. Thank you for doing what you are doing, being who you are. Reverend Jambo Mullah A, Bishop of Christ Church, Nakasongolo, South Sudan. Thank you again for what you are doing and who you are. Dr. Murali Krishna Bhuvanagiri Sharma ji, founder and head priest of Sankaramatam Vedic Academy, North Carolina, United States. Thank you, Dr. Murali Bhuvanagiri Samraj Sharma ji, for being who you are and doing what you are doing. When Datuk K. Sri Dhammaratna ji from Malaysia this Kailasa Dharma Jyoti Religion and Worship Award. Thank you, every one of you, for what you are doing to humanity and for interfaith harmony. Thank you for being who you are, and thank you for doing what you are doing. Paramashiva's message on this auspicious occasion, directly from Kailasa, religion is the science of consciousness and cosmos. It has two components, the pure science part and applied science part. All religions have pure science, like universal values, universal truths, time tested, foolproof, universal truths. Pure science part and applied science. How we apply that pure science in our lives. Some religions may have more percentage of the pure science, some may have less percentage, but all religions will have naturally the pure science, universal truths as their foundation, fundamental existence, their core component. If we all, religious leaders, spiritual leaders, if we all decide to focus more on the universal truths, pure science, and not have deep states influence in our applied science, not influence the deep state through our applied science, we will all transform the world in no time. We all religious leaders, leaders of faith organizations, religious organizations, religious influencers, spiritual leaders, if we all decide our applied science part, our organization, our faith infrastructure should neither influence the deep state nor get influenced by the deep state. And if we stop using fear and greed, any deep state strategies like a war, deep states desires to conquer a land, grab a country, being used as a tool for political advantage, if we all decide to keep ourselves away from it and focus on the pure science, we will transform the world in no time, I tell you. if we need to save the planet Earth for humanity, it is only religious leaders who can do, not by political leaders. Political leaders are going to care only about how long they can retain power. Political leaders will not bother about the world getting destroyed. Next day they get down from the power. That will be their agenda. Because only if the society and their nation collapses after they lose the power, they are going to go down in the history as the great leaders. See, after that great leader, the whole country collapsed. Every leader expects this statement to be written in the history, that after they stepped down, after they stopped ruling, the nation collapsed. So that the history will remember them as the great leaders. We should know it's only religious leaders who are going to feel for the humanity and planet Earth. It is we who care for the next generation. It is we who care for the world. If we all decide, even if it is a little difficult, if we all come to the conclusion, it is time we won't allow the deep state's influence into our organization, and we will not allow our organization to influence the deep state. We will all transform the world in no time. And I tell you, we are all in a spot, in a situation where the religious harmony is not luxury, it's a survival need. It's a survival need. If we all just stick to our declared, publicly declared agenda, without letting the deep state to put their agendas into our organization, and we not putting our hidden agendas into the deep state, that's more than enough. I feel that's a solution. Not only we will be able to keep the interfaith harmony, we can keep the planet Earth safe and alive. We religious leaders, we people of faith, we people of book and God, we people who look up to the higher forces for our existence and the planet Earth's existence. It's we all care for the continuity of the humanity. Continuity of the humanity exists on planet Earth. Political leaders will focus only on their branding in the history. They are not going to be bothered about the safety of the planet Earth or the safety of the humanity. So I feel it's all of us need to be responsible, that we don't allow politicians' undeclared deep state agendas penetrating into our organizations. Some of our organizations' deep state agendas not influencing, using the deep state of the nations. All nations have deep state. Let's agree to this truth. Let's not hide. Let's not be in denial. All nations have their deep state. Means the undeclared agendas of the politicians executed by few influencers who are ready to do any illegal, dirty work. All countries have the network of deep state, which does undeclared, non-transparent activities. If we religious leaders all come together and decide, let's keep deep state away from us, neither we will benefit by the deep state agendas, nor we will allow the deep state to benefit using our organizations. That's all. I think 90% of the problem among the religions, among the faiths will be solved if we just keep deep state people away. All of us religious people, by our very core, by our very nature, we love peace. All of us who are here, all of us want our library books to be straight. Some of us may not even want to change the location of the book. We all want, after our breakfast, we should be able to pick up the book which we want from our book library cupboard and spend time with our books, contemplate, meditate, do our personal spiritual practice, support our congregation to strengthen their conscious being. We all want this. Fundamentally, we are all peace lovers. That is why we chose religion. We chose faith as our lifestyle, as our full-time life. Not just career, as our living, as our life. We all chose. So it is we all who need to decide to keep planet Earth alive, peaceful for our next generation. For our next generation. My humble request to all the influencers in the field of religion and faith, heads of various religious organizations, my humble request, let's keep the deep state influencers and their agendas away from our organization. Let's make this one resolution. Fundamentally, deep state wants to use religion to expand their territories, to consolidate their influence over the common mass, control and manipulate the common mass. Let us not become part of the deep state's agendas. Let's keep ourselves to the pure science, the universal values on which we founded our faiths and traditions, and our declared agendas. No religion. No religion declares terrorism and conversion as their agenda. But the deep state influences use religious leaders and organizations and turn them out in practical ground level life, use them, manipulate them for their agendas. If we religious leaders decide to God, our organizations saying no to all deep state influences and deciding we will not influence deep state. Let deep state want to expand their territory, let them use army. Let them not use religion. Let it be a declared open war between one country and the other country. Let them manage their agendas. Let us not be party to the deep state's agendas. I feel even if few of us, handful of us, start setting a trend, we will not be part of the deep state agendas. We will not lose our conscious sovereignty, our allegiance to God, our allegiance to cosmos, our allegiance to the pure cosmic science. We will be more chaste towards that than the deep state's agendas, influences, and deep states interfering into our affairs. If we stop them and keep them away, not only we will all be peaceful inside our organization, we will all radiate so much peace. Bishop Dalton G is sending a message, beautiful message of peace and our shared desire of religious leaders to build harmony and work for the common good. Thank you. Thank you, Bishop Dalton Harding Ji. Thank you for your message. And I really feel we need to have a nice network who all say no to politicians and no to deep state influencers influencing religious organizations and using us for their agendas, hidden agendas. We should neither be vote bank for them nor be source of power for them. We should be source of power only for God. God is the only source of power for us. We should be the source of power only for God. If we all decide, we won't allow deep state influences into our organization, and we will also not allow our people to influence deep state. 90% of the world problems will be solved. So Rahul Aswani is asking what deep state means. Listen, deep state means in all country, in all nation, there will be a network of individual influences across the political party, right wing, left wing, judiciary, executive, legislative, media, across all influences. There will be individuals networking for quid pro quo activities, which is absolutely illegal, undeclared, sometimes even will be anti-national. They do anything and everything for each other's individual interests, undeclared agendas, non-transparent working methodology. They use everything. They use the gray area. Sometimes they even use the black area. They do anything to fulfill their interests and agendas without being bothered about the larger interest of the nation, without being bothered about the cause, the idea for which the nation stands. That gang is what I call deep state. Deep state does not care about humanity. Deep state does not care about constitution. Deep state does not care about jurisprudence. Deep state does not care about law. Deep state does not care about society. Deep state does not care about nation. Deep state is more like a shadow government, and deep state does not even care about each other's interests after they are used. Deep state gets formed as a quid pro quo, supports each other's as long as the other person is needed. Once the other person's use is over, even the other person is discarded, flushed out. That's a danger of the deep state. Getting associated with the deep state is the worst danger in getting associated with the deep state is once your utility is over, they flush you out first because they know you know about their dirty work. Deep state exists almost in all countries. I should say almost in all countries. If we religious leaders, if we religious organizations, if we religious influencers, if we spiritual leaders, if we people of book, people of God, people of dress code, people of ropes, if we decide we will not allow deep state people to influence our organization, and we will not allow our organization to influence deep state people, we will bring so much peace, so much love, so much bliss to planet Earth. I also wanted to mention one more important truth. It's little hard, bitter, but truth. Mass is losing faith on religious leaders because we are not doing what we need to do. We are supposed to maintain our allegiance, our integrity to God, our book, our rope, our declared agendas. But unfortunately, in practical life, when the mass starts seeing the deep state ganging up with the religious leaders and religious leaders allowing the deep state to manipulate religion, the mass is losing faith on the need of the religion and on the need of religious leaders. So we religious leaders need to wake up to this truth, rebuild common mass, common people's trust on us by proving that we are not part of any deep state agenda or any deep state influences. And I wanted to thank Sri Raksh Joshi, Chairman of Jagran Society of Calgary, Alberta, and Chairman of the Hindu Society, Beaumont, Alberta, for doing what you are doing, for being who you are. Thank you, Raksh Joshi ji. And also thank you for your message. Very well explained. Thank you. I request all 10 of us today who are here, if we all form a core group and say no to deep state, we are open to associate ourselves with any transparent declared agendas of the nation. We are not anti-national, we are not anti-social. We will cooperate, collaborate with the declared agendas. Open, transparent, declared agendas of the nation is welcome. But we will not allow deep state influences to penetrate our organizations, and we will not allow our organization to use the deep state influences, because once we expect some favor from the deep state people, they are going to use us. It's going to be quid pro quo. Understand, I faced worst persecution in my life, multiple assassination attempts. My organization's infrastructures, temples were burnt, demolished, attacked. I faced lawfare, false accusations, scandals. I have faced so much, but I never allowed the deep state influencers to enter into my organization or deep state influencers to sit across the table with me and negotiate. I said no. No relationship with the deep state influences. If I decided to have a negotiation with the deep state influences and settle, allow their agendas, I would not have lost what I lost. My whole organization would have been with me, but I would have been only the head of the organization, not the representative of the God. So I decided I'll be chaste to God than to the organization infrastructure. If we religious leaders, religious influencers, if we decide no deep state influence inside my organization, and my organization will not enter into any form of relationship with the deep state influences, with the shadow government people. I tell you, three things will happen if we all decide. One, we will all be peaceful with absolute certainty about ourselves and our life and our future. That's one. Second, we will gain the faith and trust of the youth, the next generation. Next generation is turning into atheist, materialist, anti-religious in alarming speed. More than the speed of the global warming, human beings turning away from God, religion, cosmic science, spirituality is the biggest threat, and the speed is much more than the speed of the global warming. If we decide to keep deep state away from us, we will regain the trust and faith of the next generation, youngsters, youth. Youth is no more interested in getting exploited. Youth is no more interested with people who are working with hidden agendas. We will gain the trust and faith of the next generation, who are the future of planet Earth. Third, above all, we will save planet Earth and humanity, the only home human beings have. The only home human beings have. We can't afford the deep state to destroy planet Earth. Actually, it is we religious leaders need to keep the check and balance. We are okay with politicians ruling the planet Earth. After all, they decided to spend their life on it, and let them rule. But they have no right to destroy it. They have no right to eliminate it. We can't allow that. We need planet Earth for next generation. It's only we, the people of book, we, the people of God, We, the people of rope, we, the people of faith, can keep planet Earth safe for the next generation. So I sincerely request all the influencers who are here today, let's form a core group with one agenda. We, the people of book, we, the people of God, we, the people of rope, will keep deep state away from us. No quid pro quo. No quid pro quo with the deep state. We will work only the transparent way with declared agendas, with people who are in real power. People who are in real power, the real president, real prime minister, who is constitutionally valid, real statesman with the real agenda in an open and transparent way. We will work only with real people, real statesmen, real agendas, transparent. If we decide only this one decision, all statesmen will have one layer around them who influence the statesmen for the vested interests of others and influence others for the vested interests of the statesmen. This network does anything and everything illegal, immoral, antisocial, to fulfill their vested interests and agendas. This is what I define as a deep state. That's all. That's all. I know I was too open. Actually, I took the risk of opening up and verbalizing this openly in a public platform. But I want to tell you, I have faced everything already. I have faced multiple assassination attempts. I have faced lawfare. Everything possible. With the grace of Paramashiva, not only I survived, Paramashiva protects me, and Paramashiva continues to make me successful and fulfill his agendas through me. Because of that, today I openly verbalized it. If we keep up the transparent declared agendas as our life, I know for sure we will regain the trust and faith of the next generation. Next generation can be part of religion. See, we are literally in crossroads. The majority of the next generation, the youth, is taking the exit from religion, exit from faith communities, exit from spiritual ecosystems. Because they are seeing our declared agendas and the decisions made in decision rooms are becoming different. The gap is getting more and more. We, people of God, we, people of book, we, people of rope, can't afford to continue to be in denial, can't afford to continue to be in the mood of everything is well, everything is okay, or one day everything will become okay. No. It's we, people of book, we, people of God, we, people of rope, we, people of faith, need to decide we need planet Earth for next generation. We can't allow politicians to destroy it. As long as politicians are ruling it, we are okay. But we should not allow politicians to destroy it. So we religious leaders, spiritual leaders, should create an ecosystem where we keep ourselves away from deep state influences. I lost everything because I did not allow deep state influencers to manipulate and use my organization. But I have God with me. I am so peaceful and I feel I lived my purpose. I feel I have fulfilled my purpose. I have no regrets. I can face my God with the tremendous peace, love, honesty, and integrity. I fulfilled His agendas. I worked only for God's agendas. Never influenced or allowed deep state to influence my organization. I can declare this with all my integrity to people and God. If we all show to the next generation, surely we will gain the trust and faith of the next generation. And we, the people of God, we, the people of book, we, the people of rope, we, the people of faith, we, the people of spirituality, we, the people of religion, We, the people who are believed, trusted by the common mass, there for their liberation and deliverance. We, the people to whom common mass opens their vulnerable space called faith and trust, we need to work only for transparent declared agendas of religion and transparent declared agendas of nations. I sincerely request all the religious leaders, let's start forming the core group. Let's not bother about the number is too small. See, all great things started in a very small way. The strength of our vision is our real asset. The power of our integrity to our vision, the faith we carry towards our agendas, our vision, that is our real asset. With that, surely we can save the planet Earth together for next generation. We can save humanity together, keep them alive for the next generation. We should keep the planet Earth the only home human beings have, at least as on now. Thank you all. Thank you for being here. That's all for now. Thank you. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhadvaita Saivam Paramadvaitam, the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and Kailasa, Maha Kailasa, Paramashiva, Paramashivoham, Om Nityananda Paramashivoham, the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam at Adi Kailasa Nityananda Singham are micromanaged by the Supreme Pontiff himself. Mandap is a preview of the Brahmotsavam and Mahotsavam celebrations to come. It is a gracious gesture and offering towards our beloved Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff, to express to him our devotion and love and to seek his blessings. With our Sakshat Dandavat Pranams, let us now welcome our beloved Bhagavan, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, for today's sacred Mandakapadi offering ceremony and seek his divine grace and blessings.
श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्रीमीनाक्षी सुन्दरेश्वराभिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्ररत्न कुमार गुरुमण्यतुल्यावतार श्रीपार्वती स्तन्यपानलब्धदिव्यज्ञान विश्रुत सकल निगमागमसारभूत द्राविड वेद प्रवक्तृ श्रीमत्परमशिव करुणा समधिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रयान गीयमान छत्र चामर श्रीचिन्नकाहलादि समस्त बिरडावल्यलङ्कृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संघ सत्यो निर्वाण दीक्षा व्ययापवर्गवर्ष विश्रान जीभूत परमत कलभकेसरी शैव सिद्धान्त स्थापनाचार्य श्रीराजाधिराज पाण्ड्य महाराज गुरु क्षपन शाक्यादि महान्धकार निवारण ज्ञान भानु वीक्षणानर्हार्ह ध्वजोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमद्ऋषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समय कर्त्रे सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्य वाचक स्वामिना अवतार भूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ तृणवद्युत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान अरुणगिरि योगीश्वर परम्परागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञ पीठ गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परम्परागत कांची कैलास सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रचित कैलास परम्परागत आदि कैलास नित्यान पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्तृ साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परम्परागत वैवस्वत मनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चंद्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ती परम्परागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ पीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य पूर्धाभिषिक्त चूड़ामणि साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत श्री कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणि पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत श्रीमहागणपतिसमारम्भ अनवच्छिन्नपीठाधीश्वर गुरुपरम्परा प्राप्त अटलपीठ अष्टोत्तरसहस्र श्री अटलपीठाधीश्वर धर्ममुक्तिस्वर्गपुरस्वर्णपीठ त्रयोविंश गुरुमहासन्निधान कैलासपरम्परागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ जगद्गुरु श्रीकैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्रीकैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यवर्य सच्चिदानन्द प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्रील श्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिन् अत्रागत्य परिपाल्य च अस्मान् विज्ञान वितरणेन विजयी भव जय जय।
O enlightened beings, descendants of noble clans, all Hindu diaspora, with the divine grace of Sri Nityanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta, Sri Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva, and with auspicious blessings of his Paramavatara, the ultimate incarnation, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashivam, Kailasa's Sri Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam welcomes you to the grand celebrations of Rajarajeshwari Brahmotsavam from 8th February to 19th February, Nataraja Maha Abhishekam on 15th February, Arunachaleshwara Magudabhishekam on 16th February, Vijayotsavam from 21st February to 2nd March, Chitra Nakshatrotsavam on 21st February, Mahaparamashivaratri Brahmotsavam from 25th February to 6th March, Pache Pattani Vratam on 25th February, Anti-Spiritual Elements Suicide Day, the 10th day of Vijayotsavam on 2nd March, and Jeevan Mukti Jayanti from 3rd March to 12th March. Today, with this traditional Mandakapadi offering, Kailasa's Sri Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam invites the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, to officiate and bless all the upcoming Brahmotsavams and Mahotsavams, and welcomes all the living beings from the 14 lokas, the vertical time zones, to these grand celebrations.
नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिव समारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरि परमशिव शक्ति मध्यमां नित्यानन्दपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। ललाटे त्रिपुण्ड्रीनिटिकृतकस्तूरितिलकः स्फुरन्मालाधारस्फुरितकटिकौपीनवसनः दधानो दुस्तारं शिरसि फणिराजं शशिकलां प्रदीपः सर्वेषाम् अरुणगिरियोगी विजयते। श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्रीमीनाक्षी सुन्दरेश्वराभिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्ररत्न कुमार गुरुमन्यतुल्यावतार श्रीपार्वती स्तन्यपानलब्धदिव्यज्ञान विश्रुतसकलनिगमागमसारभूत द्राविडवेदप्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत्परमशिवकरुणासमधिगतमुक्तामयचतुरश्रयान गीयमानछत्रचामर श्रीचिन्नकाहलादी समस्तविरदावल्यलङ्कृत ज्ञानविज्ञानचक्रवर्ती सर्वजनसङ्घसद्यो निर्वाणदीक्षाव्ययापवर्गवर्ष विश्राण जीमूत परमतकलभकेसरी शैवसिद्धान्तस्थापनाचार्य श्रीराजाधिराज पाण्ड्यमहाराज गुरु शपनशाख्यादिमहान्धकार निवारण ज्ञान भानु वीक्षणानर्हार्हध्वजोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमदृषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समयकर्त्रे सर्वज्ञपीठारूढ श्रीजगद्गुरु श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्धदेशिक स्वामी वागीश सुन्दर माणिक्यवाचक स्वामिनाम् अवतारभूत श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्ध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामलापीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ तृणवद्युत्तर द्विशततम गुरुमहासन्निधान अरुणगिरियोगीश्वर परम्परागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञपीठ गुरुमहासन्निधान कैलास परम्परागत काञ्ची कैलास सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तर द्विशततम गुरुमहासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्यमङ्गल नित्यकल्याण नित्यरचित कैलास परम्परागत आदिकैलास नित्यानन्दपीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठकर्त्रे साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत श्री कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणि पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामण्डलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परम्परागत वैवस्वतमनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चन्द्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचन्द्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ति परागत योगिनी पंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञपीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूड़ामणि साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत समारंभ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्ग पुरस्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परम्परागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरु श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्रीलश्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परम शिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिन् अत्रागत्य परिपाल्य च अस्मान् विज्ञान वितरणेन विजयी भव जय जय। धूर्वयसि धूर्वधूर्वन्तं धूर्वतयोऽस्मान् धूर्वति तं धूर्वजं वयं धूर्वामस्वं देवानामसि सस्नितमं बभ्रितमं जुष्टतमं वह्नितमं देवहूतममहृतमसि हविर्दानं दृगुंहस्वमाह्वा मित्रस्य स्वाचक्षुषा प्रेक्षेमाभिर्मा संविक्तामा त्वाहि गुंसिषुम्। श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः। धूपमाघ्रापयामि। ॐ उत्दीप्य स्वदातवेपघ्नन्निरृतिं मम पशुगश्च मह्यमावह जीवनं च दिशो दिशा मानो हि गुंसीञ्जातवेदो गामश्वं पुरुषं जगते अबिभ्रदग्न आगहि सृजा मा परिपातय। श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः। दीपं सन्दर्शयामि। अथ नैवेद्यम् ॐ मधुवातार्तायते मधुक्षरन्ति सिन्धवः माध्वीर्नः सन्तोषधीः मधुनक्तमुतोषसि मधुमत्पार्थिवगुम्रजः मधुद्योरस्तु नः पिता मधुमान्नो वनस्पतिर्मधुमागुमस्तु सूर्यः माध्वीर्गावो भवन्तु नः मधु मधु मधु। ॐ ह्रीं सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः। अमृतं महानैवेद्यं निवेदयामि। नैवेद्यानन्तरमाचमनं समर्पयामि। ॐ राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः। कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः। कर्पूरनीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि। रक्षान् धारयामि। शिवशक्त्या युक्तो यदि भवति शक्तः प्रभवितुं न चेदेवं देवो न खलु कुशलः स्पन्दितुमपि अतस्त्वामाराध्यां हरिहरविरिञ्चादिभिरपि प्रणन्तुं स्तोतुं वा कथमकृतपुण्यप्रभवति। मङ्गलं कल्पवृक्षाय मङ्गलं ज्ञानदायिने परमशिवाय श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वराय मङ्गलम्। मङ्गलं श्रीविद्याम्बायै मङ्गलं कामदायिन्ये सर्वमङ्गलदात्री नित्यानन्देश्वर्यै मङ्गलं मङ्गलं गुरुदेवाय मोक्षमूलाय मङ्गलं परमावताराय नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे मङ्गलम्।
Thank you for joining us for today's Mandakapadi celebration. Rajarajeshwari Brahmotsavam celebrations will officially begin tomorrow with the Dhwaja Rohanam, the flag hoisting ceremony. We invite you again tomorrow at 5 a.m. Indian Standard Time for Rajarajeshwari Brahmotsavam celebrations. Thank you. Nityanandam.
Om Namo Nityananda, Om Namo Nityananda, Om Namo Nityananda, Om Namo Namo. Om Namo Nityananda, Om Namo Nityananda, Om Namo Nityananda, Om Namo Namo. सदा बालरूपापि विघ्नाद्रिहन्ति महादन्ति वक्त्रापि पञ्चास्य मान्या विधीन्द्रादिमृग्या गणेशाभिधामे विधत्तां श्रियं कापि कल्या
सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is power manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagwan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream in your whole being and doing, manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained what is power manifestation. Science of power manifestation is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. The Brahmanas gives us the cognitive shift from where we exist as a logical mind, STHT, to the space of oneness with Paramashiva, a superconscious being. And all the Pramanas, the evidences that gives us the shift to experience that superconscious space. The Shastra Pramana, the eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures as Vedas and Agamas. Apta Pramana, authentic, time-tested, foolproof compilation of experience of sages, rishis, and enlightened masters, which in terms with Shastra Pramana. Atma Pramana, with Apta Pramana, a guru is able to experience and live the truth claimed by the Shastra Pramana. Shakshi Pramana, manifestation and experience of Guru's initiation in the disciple of a particular lineage, which is demonstrable to the world. And Pratyaksha Pramana, a scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened space. Bhagavan beautifully has given us all the pramana. What happens to our brain is scientifically recorded, all these greater details. The prefrontal cortex, the third eye, being awakened and experience the oneness and manifest as powers is recorded in all the details in Avatar Shastra and given beautiful explanation for the disciple, devotees, balasans and Bhagavan himself. Let's go to the Shastra Pramana. The Shastra Pramana for the power of silicon is taken from Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Vijnana, consciousness, Bhairava, one who experiences consciousness beyond the mind, and Tantra is a method, how you have methods. Here Bhagavan has given the beautiful science behind how we can manifest by having the cognitive shift. And the scriptural reference is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 120, Dharana 95. For the power of consciousness over matter, silicon.
Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 120, Dharana 95. क्वचिद् वस्तुनि विन्यस्य शनैर्दृष्टिं निवर्तयेत् तज्ज्ञानं चित्तसहितं देवी शून्यालयो भवेत् क्वचिद् वस्तुनि विन्यस्य शनैर्दृष्टिं निवर्तयेत् तज्ज्ञानं चित्तसहितं देवी शून्यालयो भवेत्.
Beautifully in the Shastra Pramana, Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 120, Dharana 95, Bhagavan Paramashiva says, having fixed one's eyes on a particular object, Vastu, one should slowly withdraw the sight from the object as well as slowly eliminate the knowledge of that object along with the thoughts and impression of it. Then, O Devi, one abides in Sunya, the state where there is nothing other than this exists, which is a state of all-inclusiveness or infinity. Bhagavan Paramashiva has beautifully given us step by step how we can experience consciousness as our reality. Bhagavan beautifully says how if we are stuck with the past, present, future as our lifestyle identity, we are stuck with the materialistic world and we go by the knowledge and the impression of the knowledge and whatever the object is as our reality, the objective world. But if we go further than that, beyond that past, present, future, the space that experience we can experience as Nitya Satya that Bhagavan beautifully gives us beyond the time that what we experience as, and we experience the Kala dimension, experiencing the higher reality. Once you are able to grasp that Nitya Satya as our reality, it becomes simple. As simple, Bhagavan says, is how you think that you have to get up and go and find a food. If you give an instruction, same thing of manifesting powers, the powers just manifest through you. The matured cognition that you're not stuck with just the past, present, future. You are consciousness. You are Paramashiva. More and more brings you to the reality that you function like Paramashiva, manifesting what you want as your reality. More and more you reside in that space of Paramashiva, you attract the right things, all your desires becomes fulfilled, all that becomes abundance and bliss. More and more you know what you want becomes your reality. And you start more engaging in Paramashiva because you know that as more you start engaging and seeing yourself as Paramashiva, more you're manifesting the powers. It is a science, more how you start your, you don't become a doctor the same day. You study the school and then go to college, then go to for the master degrees, bachelor degrees, and then the, if you want to become a surgeon, then again you have to do a whole thing for that. So it is like a 25 years of step-by-step process that you're experiencing. Same way Bhagavan says, he doesn't, we don't have to do 25 years of experience, but more and more we live, even that 25 seconds, Bhagavan says, if you live that you are Paramashiva, it is not you are thinking as Paramashiva or you are believing as Paramashiva. If somebody says, do you believe in you, who you are? You will be confused. What do you mean that by that? Because you know it is you. Even in the darkest of the room, you exist as who you are as you. And you know it is you. Nobody has to justify to you as who you are. Same way, if you feel Paramashiva in that level, that who you are is Paramashiva, Parashakti, who is manifesting even this body, even giving you the food, even digesting your food, even making you experience all that you experience in the world. When you start bringing conclusions that Paramashiva is the one who is manifesting through you as the reality again and again, holding that space, I am Paramashiva. Paramashiva is giving you all this greater reality. You will see everybody as Paramashiva and you will be in such a space to attract the greatest thing as reality. And whatever you say becomes reality. It's a science. The more and more you start doing power manifestation, you simply know that manifesting your life becomes the reality. Beautifully, the story of Patinatar for the Apta Pramana, for the power of silicon, how Patinatar lived. He was in the space of being the most wealthiest person. He was so rich that he was giving loans to kings. He was so rich and he had his own kingdom and he was giving loans to the kings. He had his son to train. So he sent his son for all this business and he came back. When he came back, he just bought a sack of cow dung cakes, a dried cow dung cakes. And Patinatar saw this, he got so mad at him and he threw the cow dung cake. And from that, the jewels started falling down. Then he picked up all the cow dung cake and all the jewels and ran to home to understand that this boy is not just, is not like he doesn't know how to do business. He knows how to even save. He is extraordinary. He thought he has achieved the ultimate, but when his son had left just a note and a broken needle, and the note read very clearly that even a broken needle will not come when you are dead. The minute he read that, something, the whole molecular structure in him probably changed and he experienced the higher reality. Something opened up in him so clearly that he said, all this wealth that I have gained is of no use because I cannot travel with this anywhere beyond this body. So he told his accountant to give all his wealth to everybody who asked. And he dropped everything and just had a loincloth and walked out of the house. And he said, I'm going to experience which is eternal, which is Nitya Satya as my reality. The minute he able to understand that Nitya Satya is the existential reality, who he is, not the delusion that whatever he has accumulated in his life, that very minute he started experiencing the higher powers. And at the end of his mother's life, he had promised, just like Adi Shankara, he had promised his mother that he will come for the last rites. So when he came back and he did not want to hurt her, he put her in the plantain leaf. It is said that you cannot burn a plantain leaf unless it is dry. It is a wet plantain leaf. And simply by the power of oneness with Paramashiva, he sang 7 verses on Paramashiva and deep oneness that he experienced. Simply the plantain leaf started burning and consumed the body and liberated her. This whole science is it's shocking for everybody to witness such a happening, but he was in the space that everything that exists is Paramashiva and everything manifests through him as Paramashiva. When the fire broke out and started burning even in a plantain leaf, then people understood that the power that he was experiencing as reality was true, and whatever his thoughts were simply becomes reality. All the struggle that we are going through, Bhagavan says, is only the muscle memory level, and it is just our decision to go beyond that and experience Paramashiva is real in conscious space and give a command from that space, and simply all that becomes reality. That is what Paramashiva is again and again giving us the powerful space. Paramashiva here is speaking on the greater truth in the Atma Pramana.
I am personally sitting and manifesting powers into silicon, so it reverberates the sarvanyatva of my brain, the all-knowingness of my superconsciousness. So it decodes through artificial intelligence assistance all the knowledge repository of the revealed scriptures, Vedas and Agamas.
Shakshi Pramana. Shakshi Pramana are the disciple devotees initiated by Bhagavan and sharing their experience.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained of the how we can experience the highest. Bhagavan has already mapped. He says beautifully the circuit, how we have different circuits in our brain on different beliefs. Belief on pain, for example, certain types of pattern it forms and it just becomes reality, because we know that there is pain is truth and we tend to believe that and we live that. And we start experiencing pain and we need only the outer world, something called the outer world signal, which is called a tablet, and then we take a tablet and it becomes fine because we have patented it in our brain. Bhagavan is now giving us the greatest initiation of manifesting the power of silicon, and he has initiated us into the higher science of experiencing that greater reality. And here beautifully a devotee says how she just kept her phone switched off and on a table, and it simply started ringing the alarm exactly when she needed, and it was shocking for her to experience that, and as reality, making the whole thing manifest as power of silicon. In the courtyard, Bhagavan initiates all of us into the silicon power, and let's get initiated by Bhagavan's words into the silicon power before we start the power of silicon over matter.
I have programmed anything which runs by this silicon and the chip based or memory hard drive, means laptop, iPad, cell phone, anything which runs by electrical and electronics energy. Just 3-4 days before, I was just trying to play with my iPad, whether that is listening to me. I said, started just listening to me. I said, this app switch off, it gets off. Without typing the password, open, it opens. And I just said, go to this app store, went and download the messenger, downloaded. It was continuously doing. Then I decided, let me convert this into software and initiate as a power to everyone. Very casually only I did. And also by tomorrow you guys will be having a software. I'm preparing it. Any battery, you just hold in your hand, it will be charged. Any battery. From the air, it will produce energy. Actually, I have done it already. I'm converting that into a software. That work is going on. Maybe today, after initiation, I'll be in Samadhi. That time I'll finish that software work. Actually, whenever I'm in Samadhi, I do all this software writing. This power software writing. And I have also tightened and closed all the loops, loose ends in this rain software. See, rain is related to length, breadth, depth, all the three. It was too much for many of you guys to swallow yesterday. It was too strong. So I have completed all the, tightened all the loose ends. Today you guys will see. It really becomes 100% success. The rain power, the power over the Vatavarana, after tightening all the loose ends. That is one. Second, any gadgets which runs electrically, electronically, you will be able to control it by will. Operate it, do anything you want with will. Two things.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explains. Sorry for the volume is little lower in the original, so let me repeat it. Bhagavan is initiating us that anything with silicon we can experience and command it, and it will simply program as per your command just what you are experiencing oneness with Paramashiva, and whatever command you give, it will simply listen. In the courtyard, Balasans had a lot of fun with the Nityananda Yogam participants and manifesting the power of silicon. What they would do is they would ask the phone to like how you send message, you can send pictures. So they will do that of sending pictures. They will not have the phone. The phone will be kept away from them, or I will keep all the phones. And from one phone, I can see to the other phone the transferring of messages and pictures just like that without them touching it. And not only that, they were able to make the phone sing, bring out some app or open an app, close the app, or make the alarm go on the app, on the phone. And they were able to increase the battery level. And also they were able to do one of the most beautiful powers, like how Krishna told to Arjuna, look up, you can see a blue crow. Immediately he was able to see a blue crow. The Balasans of Nityananda Gurukul are so powerful, connected with Paramashiva. So when Paramashiva told that you can simply use your eyelids to blink, and when you blink and you can take a picture in front of whatever you're seeing and you can post it in the phone. The child, as she listened, she was a young child, and as she listened, she just blinked and took the photo of the person in front of her and just looked at the phone. It came in the phone, and as Bhagavan was saying, he took the phone and showed. This is what I meant as power manifestation. All these words are absolutely true. We have been deluded by the STHT, thinking all this are some work and something we need to do. This is more real than all your STHT, Bhagavan says. More and more, Paramashiva gives the command. When he ordains, he sustains. He tells us, then it becomes reality. When he sustains, he ordains. The whole space of oneness with Paramashiva becomes reality more and more when we understand Paramashiva is real and he is manifesting our life, every moment of our life, and we are ready to give up the identity. It is not we have to give up like Patinatar everything, but give up the clutching of our identity that we are holding so strong in this world and ready to dissolve that at Bhagavan's lotus feet. We do that every night when we go to sleep, and deep sleep we don't have any identity, and we love that, the most beautiful space. Same way, when you're ready to drop your identity without the STHT, you experience phenomenal changes in your perception, and you are raised to the vertical time zone to different levels to experience the much higher realities of Paramashiva. Paramashiva takes you through the highest possibilities that you can experience the oneness with Paramashiva. Now, what are we going to do? as power manifestation. Yesterday, Bhagavan blessed all of us with Jnananjan. So apply the Jnananjan. Take a very little. It's a DNA of Paramashiva. Whenever Bhagavan blesses, that whole thing, the DNA, the molecular structure changes and it becomes a blessing. Like you use the prasada from Tirupati before you eat and after you, the prasada is blessed in Tirumala and the deity to the deity and it comes back, the Vishnu deity, and comes back, then the taste is completely different, Bhagavan says. Same way, you offer anything to Paramashiva and you consume that, it becomes, the molecular structure is raised to the higher frequency in that. Everything you can offer to Paramashiva, anything you do, your work, your own food, everything you can offer at Bhagavan's lotus feet, anything you start, and that is what we do when we start with the Guru Vandanam. Offer everything at Paramashiva's lotus feet and then start the whole thing that Paramashiva is manifesting through you. It is nothing to do with your identity. More and more you drop your identity, your life becomes more and more auspiciousness and abundance. Here, what we are going to experience, that is drop completely that we have to be doing anything with the phone. Close all the app, do not connect them to power cord or anything. Just let the phone be there and take a screenshot of the whatever the screen that you have, which shows the clearly that the power percentage on your phone, and keep the phone vibrates or phone becomes hot or it opens an app, doesn't mind. You can just take a screenshot whenever anything happens and share it at the end of the session. All we are going to do is try to make the alarm go on the app. But if anything happens in the phone, it's wonderful. You can understand that silicon simply listens to you. Matter always listens to us. Silicon is nothing but a matter, a sand. So the mother energy simply listens to you when you connect to her in deep oneness. All this is a science. Again and again, when you get more and more soaked in all the science, you will start understanding it is not about manifesting some power or anything, but more and more you do power manifestation, your inner cognition gets shifted to deeper and deeper and higher levels of vertical time zone, and the synergy trigger happens that you see so many changes in your life, not just the phone ringing or something happening just right now, but you will see phenomenal differences happening in your perception itself as you raise your cognition by listening to all great signs. Now let's sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line and intensely connect to Paramashiva through your third eye. Just now we had the darshan, powerful cognition. Hold that in your third eye. Continuously live in from your third eye. The lower three chakras is only the chaos and confusion and all the traumas, which is only for detox, virahara, and intermittent fasting, 1 meal a day, all that. Nothing else can be done. We have to only detox. The higher three chakras, the more and more you are in gratitude, in love, it opens up to the higher states of consciousness again and again, falling in deep oneness where you disappear into Paramashiva. There is no identity left in you where you remember you as yourself. Dissolve that much into Paramashiva's lotus feet again and again. You will raise yourself into the deep love and oneness, and gratitude simply will flow through you as your beautiful space. So more and more when you chant the Mahavakya and listen to the chanting, deeply getting into the space of oneness with Paramashiva, entangling with Paramashiva, you will start the higher realities opening up in the higher time zones, higher lokas, where you're manifesting all these powers in a simple, beautiful way. More and more you are recognizing yourself in the higher time zones. You are in the matured cognition of Paramashiva is more real in my life than my logical mind. And slowly your logical mind gets dissolved into more and more the power manifestation simply happening to you as your reality. So more you start experiencing the oneness, the deep surrender, that is the biggest tyaga, not anything from outer world. Dropping every thought at Bhagavan's lotus feet and dissolving into Paramashiva, that only He exists. There is nothing in you that exists. Holding that powerful space, chanting the Mahavakya intensely. Do not touch the gadget, just put away your gadgets and start chanting the Mahavakya in deep love and gratitude and in a deep listening. Let's start the power of silicon ringing an alarm without touching.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amritapur, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Jnananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amritapur, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Jnananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Jnananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
So beautiful. Whatever you have experienced, please go ahead and share that in tinyurl.com/manifestation. You feeling Kundalini energy, you feeling the phone vibrating or making the alarm clock go on, or the battery increasing. Battery decreasing will not be taken into account unless it decreases like way too much. There's something not taken into account, but the battery increase we can take into account, or any of the message or any app that got open, you can take a picture of that and share it with the world. Again and again, Paramashiva is real and consciousness is real, not just these small exercise. The more and more you are engaged in power manifestation, your transformation in life, you can see so many things happening as beyond your logic, and you can share those again and again. And especially with all the initiation that Bhagavan is giving, make sure you are sharing that with the hashtag Paramashivom Shakshi Pramanas. And Bhagavan has beautifully said, sharing, enriching, and causing is part of our manifestation. Why is that? It is not just you are getting enlightened, it is you becoming the whole as enlightenment. So, how you become the whole is enriching and causing others to be in that same space. It is not that only you raise yourself, it is collective integrity which happens as reality. So that is why this is very important part of power manifestation. Extreme manifestation is extreme causing, and extreme causing is extreme power manifestation. The more and more you cause for whatever you are holding that space for, you will see your space getting evolved into more brilliant ways to manifest that. That is why Bhagavan goes on saying enriching and causing as part of our lifestyle. Every day, share your beautiful experiences, how the breakthroughs are happening. Paramashiva is becoming more real in your life as your identity as Paramashiva rather than yourself. And when you share, you start experiencing more grounded realities that you see in your life. You remember all the great masters by their power manifestation, not by anything else. So you know that power manifestation is the way we connect to everything. When we share our life where it has transformed in many ways, even as small as dropping a small habit to making a huge decisions in your life, go on sharing, make an album and as Shakshi Pramana, and go on sharing all your experience for a few days. Bhagavan has given that as a simple integrity and simple obedience. So let's all do that. You can share it and create an album in your social media, or you can post it in tinyurl.com/power manifestation. Kailash Kotian Manifesting Power Group it is. You can share also with the IDs of hashtag power manifestation, hashtag third eye powers, and hashtag Kailasha, hashtag Nityananda. So you can have all this documented. It's not like you're going to do anything for anybody. Your inner space expands by doing all this simple exercise every day. How you do yoga every day, Panchakriya every day. All these are taking you to the higher time zones. Why you came to planet Earth, to celebrate Paramashiva in living enlightenment space. So doing this small things which takes you to the higher space of integrity, and integrity with the Guru simply evolves you into the higher superconscious space. So make sure you're sharing everything and especially tag it to your friends and families. Slowly they will start, the more you slowly start understanding your Paramashiva, they will recognize you as Paramashiva, and you will see everything aligning to you as you want, as how you think. Your whole thinking will transform into the higher cognitions and higher realities. So with that, and also if you see the $ at the end of the YouTube chat, please make sure you click and donate whatever you have as a Guru Dakshana, the donation to Kailasha. The more and more we align to all these things, the more we are building Kailasha in a space, and one day we'll be sucked into Kailasha as our reality. And with that, let's surrender all this powerful cognition, power manifestation at Bhagwan's lotus feet in deep gratitude, and thanking Bhagwan for all that he's showering on us every single day. And thanking all of you in all the social media for having that beautiful space of simple integrity, simple obedience, manifesting powers of Paramashiva every single day. The Jnana Pada that we follow every day, like how you do the yoga, following the power manifestation every day and manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. Thank you so much for holding that space. And with the deep earning, Paramashiva is real in my thought, word, and action, and seeing everything as Paramashiva as my reality, holding this powerful cognition and ending this session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nityananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you so much. The next session after the darshan or satsang, Bhagwan's initiation, and Dvajarohanam. Don't miss that. 5 a.m. IST time we have tomorrow. So don't miss that. After that, we'll be surely having the power manifestation. You can join in. Thank you, Nityanandam.